Hello everyone, I'm back with another video on kinematics and what we are doing. Motion in a plane, what we have done previously, scalars and vectors, what is a unit vector, position and displacement vector. And what we are doing in this video. In this video, we will do motion in a plane and resolution of a vector. So, what you should be knowing. What are scalars? Physical quantities that depend only on magnitude. Vectors, physical quantities that depend both on magnitude and direction and follow laws of vector addition. Unit vector, a vector of unit magnitude and has the same direction as that of the given vector. For vector A, unit vector is A cap, which is equal to vector A divided by its magnitude. Then I, j and k are unit vectors along x, y and z axis. And we studied about position vector and displacement vector. If you want to learn all this, do check the previous video. So now we will understand the concept of motion in a plane. For a particle moving in a plane, the position vector r is equal to xi plus yj. The displacement vector delta r is equals to delta xi plus delta yj, where delta x is the change in position along x-axis and delta y is the change in position along y-axis. We know about instantaneous velocity, which is v is equals to limit delta t tends to 0 delta r by delta t, or it can be written as dr by dt. Now let us put the value of r, which is xi plus yj. This can be written as dx by dt I cap plus dy by dt j cap. Now dx by dt is vx and dy by dt is vy. So we get instantaneous velocity is equal to vxi plus vyj. If I want to find out its magnitude, that will be equal to v is equals to under root of I component square plus j component square, that is vx square plus vy square. If I want to find out its direction, that is tan theta is equal to Vy by Vx. Also, we can find instantaneous acceleration, which is A is equals to limit delta t tends to 0, delta V by delta t. This can be written as dV by dt. Let us put the value of V, which is Vxi plus Vyj. This can be written as dvx by dt I cap plus dvy by dt j cap, which can be written as axi plus ayj. If I want to find out its magnitude, that will be a is equals to under root of ax square plus ay square, and the direction will be tan theta is equal to ay by ax. Now as we know, a equal to dv by dt and v can be written as dx by dt. So we can write a is equal to d square x upon dt square. Please understand, we cannot write d square x upon d square t square. In calculus, this is the only way of writing, that is d square x upon dt square. Now, let us understand the concept of resolution of a vector. In Cartesian coordinates, I cap, j cap and k cap are unit vectors along x-axis, y-axis and z-axis. Consider a vector A lying in the xy plane and making an angle theta with the x-axis. It can be resolved into two rectangular components, namely OP is equal to AXI and OQ is equal to AYJ along x and y axis respectively, such that A vector is equal to AXI plus AYJ. Now in triangle OPR, what is cos theta? Cos theta is OP by OR, which is AX by A, or AX can be written as A cos theta. And what about sine theta in the same triangle? That will be equal to PR by OR, which is AY by A, or can I write AY is equals to A sine theta? So from equation 1 and 2, if I square both the equations and add them, I get a is equals to under root of ax square plus ay square. Now I hope with this you must have understood that how can I find the magnitude of a vector. And if I divide equation 2 by 1, we get tan theta is equal to ay by ax. In the previous slide, we were finding the magnitude and direction by using these two things, which is a equal to under root of ax square plus ay square for magnitude and tan theta is equal to ay by ax for direction. Now, let us understand the concept of resolution of vectors with the help of a few examples. That is the applications of resolution of vectors. The first one is walking. You can see this gentleman walking. While walking, a person presses the ground with his feet in the backward direction by a force F at an angle theta with ground. So first, this is the weight of the person acting downwards. Now this is the force which the person is applying. You can see this gentleman is applying this force. This force is F and this is making an angle of theta with the ground. Now in reaction, the ground exerts an equal and opposite reaction force on the feet, which is in the upward direction. This reaction can be resolved into two rectangular components. The first one is r sine theta, which balances the body weight as you can see in the figure, and the second one is r cos theta, which helps us to walk forward. So the second application, moving a lawn mower. Consider a lawn mower of weight W be pulled or pushed by force F making an angle theta with the horizontal direction. So there are two scenarios, one is pulling, other one is pushing, and it is very clear from the figure that while pulling the person enjoys, he has to apply less force, while pushing he is not enjoying because he has to apply more force. Now let us understand the concept. This is the lawn mower, the weight acting downwards. This is the force applied and the force is making an angle theta. The force can be resolved into two components, F cos theta, the horizontal component, and F sin theta is the vertical component. Now, what is the effective weight of the roller? It is equal to W minus F sin theta because W and F sin theta are acting in opposite direction. That's why we subtracted. Now, what is the effective horizontal pulling force? It is equal to F cos theta. As the force required to move a body is directly proportional to the effective weight of the body, so in pulling, less effective weight is used, so it is easier to pull. Let's take the case of pushing the lawn mower, weight acting downward. This is the force applied in pushing, making an angle theta. So resolved into two components, F cos theta and F sin theta. Now what is the effective weight of roller? It is W plus F sin theta because W and F sin theta are both acting in the same direction. Effective horizontal pushing force is F cos theta. So as we can see, in pushing effective weight is more, so it is difficult to push. Let us do a few examples. The first one, a cyclist starts from the center O of a circular park of radius 1 kilometer, reaches the edge P of the park, then cycles along the circumference and returns to the center along QO as shown. If the round trip takes 10 minutes, what is the net displacement, average velocity and average speed of the cyclist? So the first one, net displacement is 0 because he started from O and reached at O at the end, so it's 0. Average velocity is 0 because average velocity is net displacement per unit time and the net displacement is 0. For average speed, let us first find the total distance, which is equal to OP plus PQ plus QO. Now OP is equals to 1 kilometer. PQ is 1/4 of the circumference because circumference will be the total path. Here PQ is 1/4 of this. That's why we can write 2 into 3.14 into 1 divided by 4. And what about QO? That is again 1. So we get 1 plus 1.57 plus 1, that is 3.57 kilometer. Now average speed is total distance upon total time. Total distance is 3.57, total time is 10 minutes. So this can be written as 10 by 60 hours. And this gives us the answer 21 kilometer per hour. Question number 2. Three girls skating on a circular ice ground of radius 200 meters starts from a point P on the edge of the ground and reaches a point Q diametrically opposite to P following different paths as shown. What is the magnitude of the displacement vector for each, and for which girl is this equal to the actual length of the path skate? So displacement is the shortest distance between the initial and final position. So it is same for all the three girls, and it is equal to 400 meter irrespective of the paths. And for B, it is equal to the actual length of the path skated. Let's move to question number 3. The position of a particle is given by r is equal to 3ti minus 2t square j plus 4k meters, where t is in seconds and the coefficients have the proper units for r to be in meters. Find the velocity and acceleration of the particle. What is the magnitude and direction of velocity of the particle at t equal to 2 seconds? So what is given? R is equal to 3ti minus 2t square j plus 4k. Now velocity v equal to dr by dt, that is d by dt of 3ti minus 2t square j plus 4k. Now 3i comes out because it's constant. D by dt of t minus 2j d by dt of t square plus k d by dt of 4. Now d by dt of t is 1 because of this relation that we have done in differentiation thing. Now d by dt of t square is 2t using this explanation, and d by dt of 4 is 0 because the differentiation of a constant is 0. So what we got? We got v is equals to 3i minus 4tj meter per second. Now we know a equal to dy by dt. So d by dt of 3i minus 4t j. I comes out d by dt of 3 minus 4j d by dt of t. Now d by dt of 3 is 0 because the differentiation of a constant is 0, and d by dt of t is 1 as we have done earlier also. So we get a is equals to minus of 4j meter per second square. So the first part is done. Let us move to the second. We need to find the velocity at 2 seconds. Now velocity is v equal to 3 I cap minus 4 t j cap. In place of t we put 2 seconds and we get 3i minus 8j meter per second. Now we need to find the magnitude of this, which is under root of I component square plus j component square. We put the values and we get magnitude of the velocity v is equals to under root of 73. Direction is tan theta is equals to the y component divided by the x component of the velocity, that is minus of 8 by 3, or we can say theta is equals to tan inverse minus of 8 by 3. Question number 4. A particle starts from the origin at t equal to 0 seconds with a velocity of 10 j meter per second and moves in the xy plane with a constant acceleration of 8 I cap plus 2 j cap meter per second square. At what time is the x coordinate of the particle 16 meter? What is the y coordinate of the particle at that time? What is the speed of the particle at that time? So what is given? We are given u is equals to 10j, a is equals to 8i plus 2j. Now we know dv is equals to a dt. How I got this? We know a equal to dv by dt. So dv can be written as a dt. Let us put the value of a. So what we get? dv is equals to 8i dt plus 2j dt. Now let us integrate both sides. So integration of dv is equals to integration of 8I dt plus integration of 2j dt. The integration of dv is v, the integration of dt is t, and the integration of dt here again is t, plus c is the constant of integration. In order to understand this, please check the video on integration. Now, if I put t equal to 0 in these two places, I get c is equals to v, that is the initial velocity, which is 10j. So we can write c is equals to 10j. Therefore, v can be written as v is equals to 8ti plus 2tj plus 10j. Now, dr is equals to v dt. How I got this? We know v is equals to dr by dt. So dr can be written as v dt. Let us put the value of v here. So what we get? Dr is equals to 8I t dt plus 2j t dt plus 10j dt. Now integrating both sides. So integration of dr is equals to 8I being constant comes out, integration of t dt plus 2j, integration of t dt plus 10j dt. Now the integration of dr is r, the integration of t dt is t square by 2. So what we get? We get r is equals to 8I t square by 2 plus 2j t square by 2 plus 10j t, because the integration of dt is t, plus the constant of integration c. So we can write r is equals to 4t square I plus t square plus 10tj. Here we are not using c, we neglect it. Now we know r is equals to xi plus yj. So what we can write, xi plus yj is equals to 4t square I plus t square plus 10 tj. So x is equals to 4t square and y is equals to t square plus 10t. Now in the first part, what was the question? At what time is the x coordinate of the particle 16 meter? That means x is equals to 16. So that is 16 is equals to 4t square, which gives t is equals to 2 seconds. What is the y coordinate? So we will put the value of t is equals to 2 second in y equation. So we get 24 meters. B part, what is the speed? Now the velocity was 8ti plus 2tj plus 10j. Here in place of t we put 2 seconds, and what we get? 16i plus 14j. The magnitude will be under root of 16 square plus 14 square, which will give under root of 452 meter per second. Now it is the time to recapitulate. What are the topics that we have studied? Motion in a plane, r equal to xi plus yj, delta r is equal to delta xi plus delta yj, v is equals to limit delta t tends to 0, delta r by delta t is equal to dr by dt, which is vxi plus vyj, a equal to axi plus ayj, and a equal to d square x upon dt square. Resolution of a vector in the plane, we got a cos theta as the horizontal component and a sin theta as the vertical component, and the application of resolution of vectors like walking, moving a lawn mower. Now it is the time to do a few questions. So these are the 4 questions which you should try. Pause the video, try the questions, and then play the video again to check your answers. Let us solve question number 1. An aircraft is flying at a height of 3400 meter above the ground. If the angle subtended at the ground observation point by the aircraft position 10 seconds apart is 30 degree, what is the speed of the aircraft? So let A and B be the two aircraft positions separated by 10 seconds. So O is on observatory point, A and B. Let C be their center. So the total was 30. That means AC is 15 and BC is again 15. Okay, now in triangle OCA, 1015 is equals to AC by OC. So AC can be written as OC 1015, which is 3400 1015 degree. which is 3400 into 0.268, that gives AC is equals to 911.2 meter. Now we know AB is equals to twice of AC, so AB is equals to 1822.4 meters. Speed of aircraft V is equals to AB upon T, which is 1822.4 divided by 10, that gives 182.24 meter per second. A passenger arriving in a new town wishes to go from the station to a hotel located 10 km away on a straight road from the station. A dishonest cabman takes him along a circuitous path 23 km long and reaches the hotel in 28 minutes. What is the average speed of the taxi? The magnitude of average velocity. Are these two equal? Okay, average speed is total distance by total time. Total distance is 23 km. Total time is 28 minutes. That is 28 by 60 hours. And this gives 49.29 km per hour. Average velocity is total displacement by total time. Now the displacement is 10 km because that was the distance between the initial and final position, divided by 28 by 60, and this gives 21.43 km per hour. Let us do question number 3. A person moves 30 meter north, then 20 meter east, and then 30 route to southwest. Find his displacement from the original positions. Let us first visualize the question. The person starts from A, covers 30 meter, reaches point B, covers 20 meter, reaches point C, covers 30 route 2, reaches point D. AB is 30 meter, angle B is 90, BC is 20 meter. I need to find AD. Yes, this blinking AD. Now at C, he turned southwest. So it would be 45° to the current path of travel, and it would normally intersect AB at 45° at P. In simple terms, north and east are perpendicular to each other. That means northeast it at 45°. Now in triangle PBC, angle B is 90°, angle C is 45°, angle P is 45°. So we can say PB is equals to BC is equals to 20 meter, as sides opposite to equal angles are equal. Now if PB is 20, what about AP? AP can be written as AB minus of PB, that is 30 minus 20 is equals to 10 meter. Now in triangle PBC, yes, this blinking triangle, PC is equals to under root of PB square plus BC square by Pythagoras theorem, and it gives 20 root 2. What about DP or PD? That is equal to CD minus of PC, which is 30 root 2 minus 20 root 2. That gives 10 root 2. Now in triangle PAD, yes, this blinking triangle, DP square is equals to AD square plus AP square. That is 10 root 2 square is equal to AD square plus AP square, that is 10 square. So 200 minus 100 is equals to AD square, that gives AD is equals to 10 meter. Question number 4. For any arbitrary motion in space, which of the following relations are true? V average is equals to half into Vt1 plus Vt2. This is false, as the motion of the particle is arbitrary, so the average velocity cannot be given by this equation. The second one, V average is equal to Rt2 minus Rt1 upon T2 minus T1. This is true. The arbitrary motion can be represented by this motion. Third one, Vt is equal to V0 plus At. This is again false, as the motion of the particle is arbitrary, so the acceleration of the particle may also be non-uniform. Hence, this equation cannot represent the motion of the particle in space. D part, Rt is equals to R0 plus V0t plus half At square. It is again false. As I said, as the motion of the particle is arbitrary, so acceleration is non-uniform. So this equation cannot represent the motion of the particle in space. Last one, A average is equal to Vt2 minus Vt1 upon T2 minus T1. This is true. The arbitrary motion of the particle can be represented by this. Now, the acknowledgement, this presentation is for students of grade 11. A few images are taken from Google and Bing, for which I am thankful to both. Do watch the next video for the next topic. Thank you so much.